to the Diamond Club Podcast. I am John Hunter. This is Chris Leif. And we got Danny, the Pitchman Hart. Boys, what is up?
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
Awful, dude. This is just ridiculous. The way what's going on with this headphone situation. I just looked over and saw that there's a plug that I can plug in, and I'm trying to see it, but it looks like it's a headphone thing. Yeah, I'm miserable. This is fucking awful. This is gonna be a terrible episode for everybody because I'm just gonna be miserable the entire time.
At least you can hold your microphone up and act like you're talking.
Yeah, this is just like a fake thing right now, but at the end of the fucking thing, there's just nothing. There's nothing.
So angry.
Yeah, dude. And you know what? And to put on to boot, I am trying this new diet thing where I'm doing intermittent fasting. Yeah, and I'll tell you this right now, I am in a fucking annoyed mood, right? At all times right now, because apparently So I hired this nutritionist, right? And she told me, she's like, listen, you're gonna be moody because you're literally detoxing from sugar and shit. I'm like, well, that's
you're just a hangry elf right now.
No, yeah, I'm pissed off. I'm just gonna. And then
he's an angry little elf.
And then I had to deal with all that shit. Then I had to deal with I was reading too much Twitter yesterday, and I had to deal with all that. With Bryce Harper, apparently it's overrated. Then this morning woke up again today, and then there's a website, there's a baseball talk website or baseball talk page on Facebook, and some guy decided to dedicate his entire day to talking about how he made 4 different posts about Bryce Harper about how much he stinks.
I feel like there's a lot of pages on Twitter right now that are specifically trying to stir the pot with Bryce Harper stuff. If you'll see them post, and then they'll post a GIF underneath that's this is what I want to use all to engage with, and just to get the likes and comments and shit going, just to have people engaged in his post. And is Gritty specifically just on top of me? Is he my good devil, or is it everybody?
It's instead of the Diamond Club, I just left Gritty up there.
It's just you, loser.
Yeah, you get Gritty.
To be honest, I should have Gritty next to me because that just seems like a miserable person. I should have the miserable person on me.
I do have an orange beard though, so I think I would by default.
Dude, if you look really close, my beard has 4 different colors in it. It's got a weird blonde.
Yeah.
There could be a hint of gray, a touch of gray, if you will.
Yeah, I get gray right here.
Brown. And
that's where I get it. I get it right here, and I'm like, nope.
I like it. I feel like a wily old vet sometimes when I let my beard grow. But
you are.
Yeah.
You are a wily old vet.
Very true. It's true.
So there's a few things that we wanted to talk about tonight. I guess since I started kind of off with the Bryce Harper thing, we could probably start off with that, right?
Absolutely. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, he sucks. He's not batting 300. His on-base percentage didn't go up 40 points in the last 16 games. He blows.
Yeah. And none of that. Wait, that's not the case. All those things are false. They all are that. He's just that good anymore. And
yeah.
I've gotten to the point where I'm just I almost seem like a Bryce Harper apologist for some reason. I don't really give a fuck. Hold on. My buddy just texted me. It was Kev Schwer just texted me and said, "I'm done with Joe. Friendship ended with Joe Girardi." He's already tired of him. And welcome to the party.
Yeah, it took him fucking 18 months longer than anyone else.
Yeah, and you know what?
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, there's so much but anyway, the Bryce Harper thing is just it just blows my mind. There's still people out there who just believe that this dude's not this dude isn't good.
Yeah.
I need to know what people need out of him. They need it sounds like they need 60 home runs, 140 RBIs.
Well,
Is that what they need?
yeah, I was going to say up until 3 weeks ago, it was he's only batting 268. He's just not producing enough. He's not driving in runs. Now he's batting over 300. So like the unintelligent people that just look at batting average and think that's end all be all, what are they going to say now? And now it's just going to move to he only has 36 RBIs. Like obviously RBIs, you want your middle of your lineup guys to have a ton of RBIs, obviously, but like in the beginning of the season, nobody was getting on base in front of them, and like RBIs is a product of the whole team. It's not like obviously you need those. Like I'm pretty sure he's batting close to 300 with runners in scoring position as well. He just doesn't have that many opportunities. And over the last 16 games, he has 18 walks alone. His on base went from 380 to 415. Like his average jumped from, if you care about that, jumped from like 274-ish to 302 entering tonight. Like the dude just, if he didn't get hit in the face with a fastball that happened to not break his face but hurt his wrist, he would be in contention for an MVP type season. And like it's ridiculous that they take anything like a base running error, which he did have a really tough time base running yesterday.
It was bad. And he looked bad on defense too.
He's had a couple. Yeah, he had a couple rough plays in the outfield. Like granted, they happened. Like you can't say they didn't happen, but
he's had a bad weekend.
Yeah, they'll look at that and just be like, yeah, he's just this dude. We're paying him this much money, and the whole concept of these dudes saying like, oh, he's making $330 million. Like his contract, I think I've seen it. He's like the 18th highest player in baseball this year. That's a fucking steal. Like, I don't understand. Like he's.
At the end of this, it's going to be a steal. Because when it's all said and done, I mean, of course, the back end is the back end. You're not expecting no club, and I don't care what anybody says, no club pays players thinking that the back end of the contract is going to be the most productive years.
Yeah.
Nobody. That's not how it is. That's not how a contract's constructed. That's not how that works. But the thing that blows my mind with it all is you have a guy right now. So I saw his first at bat. I didn't see his second one. I know he walked in the second at bat. So the first at bat, again, he comes up with nobody on, right? So 2 outs. Right off the bat, he comes up, no one's on. What was the case for the second at bat? Was there anybody on?
I think he let off. He let off and walked. And then JT hit a single after him. Then it was 2 fly balls and a ground out.
Okay. So that leads me to this. For anybody who ever has anything negative about RBIs for him, this year, Bryce Harper in how many games he played? He's played over 80, right?
I think he played maybe 84-ish, something like that. I think he missed 18 games, so like probably around like 80, 84, somewhere in that range, I believe.
You nailed it. Today's the 85th game, so 84 games is where we were at. So in 84 or 85 games now, he has come up to the plate 189 times with nobody on base.
Yeah,
nobody.
That's ridiculous.
He's batting third and has come up 189 times with no one on. He has come up 57 times with runners in scoring position. He has come up 108 times with runners on. So it's literally either they're at first base or they're at runners in scoring position. And that was half of the time for him.
Yeah.
Both are split. Yeah. So half of them at bats, there was a guy on first base. The other half, there's a guy at second or third. And when guys are on third, he's like a beast. I saw something that he was like an absolute animal with runners on third. Man on third, he's batting 500 with a 588 on base percentage, a 667 slugging, and a 1.255 OPS.
Hey,
the dude just rakes when people get on.
Did Didi just hit a homer?
A double.
Okay. I'll take it. Fuck it.
Look at that. And you know what's funny? He'll now jump up to like 5th or something in the lineup. Because for some reason,
He'll be back to leading off tomorrow. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah. Does anyone understand the Janikowski leadoff?
I just think it's lack of other options, I guess. I don't know why Gene wanted, but like
another option.
It was left, right.
Oh yeah, Harper. If he's not putting Harper leadoff. I mean, I wish he would. Every time he comes up to base leading off, he fucking walks, hits a, what's like I haven't looked up his stats leading off the inning, but it has to be ridiculous. Like I don't know if you can pull that up really fast. His on base percentage has to be close to 500. Every time he leads off, he's on base. He leads the team in steals. He leads the team in on base percentage. He's one of the top 10 in the league in on base percentage. Like everything about him, like he gets innings started, and I don't understand why you want like George Springer leads off. Harper is kind of George Springer-ish, but a better all-around hitter right now by far. Like I don't understand why you can put power in your leadoff spot. I don't think Girardi knows that. It doesn't make sense, but I mean Jankowski, his on base percentage I think was like 396 coming into today. So I mean, I get it to a sense, but yeah, I mean obviously we all want Harper leading off. We've been saying that all year, but I mean,
I'm never going to understand like the let's just completely like not do that. Like Gabe Kapler had him do it. Gabe Kapler let him lead off before.
Yeah.
And for some reason
he got ripped for it too.
Because people truly believe that he needs to be a 3 hitter.
Yeah.
That is not beneficial for your team. Like people have to stop looking at his individual stats and think of what this could do for the team.
Yep.
Your number one run producer, and producing runs does not mean RBIs. Doesn't just mean RBIs. He produces runs with his presence.
Yeah, like
that's what he's been doing all year.
Yeah, like we've talked about it a couple of early episodes, like when they had Hoskins batting second continuously, and he just wasn't. He was producing a little bit. He wasn't getting on base though. He wasn't taking any walks, which is uncharacteristic for Hoskins. But now, why wouldn't you have Harper? Like the dude just gets on base all the time. He would help the lineup so much if he gets the most at bats on the team. If he leads the game off, like it's so easy for us to sit here and say that, but Girardi just refuses to do it. And like, yeah, it's just like it makes no sense.
It's almost like it's a fuck you type of thing.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to do it, and I just need to know what his reasoning for not doing it. If he says he's my best run producer, he's a fucking idiot because I mean he's got the highest WRC plus in your fucking squad right now.
Yep.
And he's been batting 3 with no one getting on base, and he's got like a 155 or something WRC plus.
Yeah, it's up there.
Insane.
Yeah.
He's better than literally 55% of the players in baseball. The average player is 100. He's 155.
I think he's in the top 10 of WRC plus in majors right now.
He is. He's not. Yeah, I saw he was like number 4 in on base percentage.
Yeah, and you don't want that as your leadoff man. Like it's just fucking stupid.
It's honestly too easy of a move.
Yeah, it makes too much sense.
Yeah, where did I say? He is 7th right now in WRC plus. He is actually 12th in average.
Yeah, and that's all the average haters out there that goes, oh, he's only batting 268. Well, no, he's 12th in majors.
He's 3rd in on base percentage.
Sounds like a fucking leadoff hitter to me. Sounds like the best construction of a lineup would be put him first. Just makes too much fucking sense.
And he's 9th in slugging percentage, if anyone wanted to know.
Yeah, so his power numbers that people are worried about. Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous. Like even our broadcast, like last week, after asked John Kruk, do you think Howard? Do you think Harper's power numbers will start to rise? Do you think his home runs will go up? Kruk's just like, I mean, yeah, it's going to hit home runs. He's playing great right now. Like it's even the fucking our own broadcast is like clueless about situations. Like it's just so dumb. Like he only has 16 home runs. Like
who cares?
He's on pace to hit. He's on pace to hit 30 home runs. Like he's not fucking Barry Bonds. Like he doesn't hit 50 home runs. That's just not who he is. He hit 40 home runs one time. Like
everyone just looks at his outlier year, which was his MVP year, where he hit 42, I believe. Yeah, he
batted like 340 with 42 home runs, 99 RBIs.
That's an see what I mean?
Didn't even have 100 RBIs there. Like,
yeah, so like it's such an outlier. That was such an outlier year for his power. Like he usually hovers around the 31 to 34.
Exactly.
range.
Yeah.
That's where you would expect from him. Like that's what I expect from him. So when you look at when you look at like the broad scheme of things with him, so Fangraphs actually does this really cool thing where like they actually like break down. I know, Chris, you're probably loving me when I talk about Fangraphs. So what they do is they actually break down value in dollars, and it's in millions. So right now, Bryce Harper ranks 23rd in baseball in value right now.
Value per contract, right?
For his contract. Does anyone know what his AAV is this year?
28 million, maybe.
25.4.
25.
You know what his value is right now?
35.
26.5.
So he's a steal. He's a steal.
So anyone who says that he's not earning his contract, he's actually
exceeding it.
$1 million more. He is what his numbers are.
Not to mention he's been fucking fighting injuries all season. The dude just still balling out.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's like you're gonna sit here and say that, but like that's not the truth. He's not, like it's just so far from the truth, and it blows my fucking mind that people really believe that. Like he's like what number are you looking at? And it's always people who don't live in this area, nor do they really watch. And if they do live in this area, they don't really even watch baseball. So like,
yep.
Don't tell me that he's not earning his contract. Listen, I had this conversation with John Kincaid in the beginning of the year. You're a fucking idiot if you don't think that this dude is earning his contract. That's my problem. You know what I mean? Like that's my issue with it. I don't know. It's brutal.
Yeah, it was the average wasn't good enough, which is completely irrelevant. Now it's the fucking RBIs aren't enough. He's only on pace to hit 30 home runs. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what.
I'll just have 30 more RBIs than he does home runs.
Yeah,
that's not that bad, or 15, whatever the fuck it is. Like,
yeah.
It's crazy. Chris, you care to chime in here?
What's up, Ryan? Thank you.
No, listen. You guys said everything I wanted to say, and I'm fine with that. You know, he drives me, but like the whole, you know, like today it was, you know, he's overrated. He's not driving in runs. And I'm like, and I told everyone, I'm like, look at his stats since he's been in the league, since he became a starter. He's not an RBI guy. He's not. 100 RBIs twice. And then, like you said, you circle back to the year he won the MVP. 42 home runs and 99 RBIs. What's that say for? Like, he's hitting them at the most. You could say it's the inopportune time, or, again, the players just weren't getting on base for him. But he was so good, he still won the MVP. So, like, we're gonna turn blue in the face until we say lead off. The numbers say to bat leadoff. He leads it right now. He's creeping up with on base percentage. He leads the team in stolen bases. You know, like Danny alluded to, is his 16 walks in his last 18 games, which is absurd.
18 and 16 games. Yeah, 18 in his last 16.
18 in his last 16. He's averaging a walk a game. He's getting on base an average of like two times a game. Yep. You know, like what else do you want from the guy that says he's overrated? Like, I know there's trolls out there, but I really think it's just people who don't know what they're talking about. Like, I don't think there are your trolls, but I just think there are people who just legitimately don't know baseball. They don't, like, because there's nothing else that you can say to say that he's overrated. There's nothing.
Yeah, I think like, there's a couple of those bigger.
If you want to say anyone who's overrated this year, you know, for me, it would be JT Realmuto, just because he's having – I know his numbers say – his defensive numbers say he's having a good year, but he hasn't thrown a lot of people out. I know he saved some runs. I know John's got that stat. But, like, offensively and defensively, JT hasn't done a lot. You know, this team needs one more player to get hot. If this team had one more player get hot with Bryce Harper, they would have a chance to run away with the NL East, especially with the trades that were just made. Like, they got Kyle Gibson, who pitched a good game, and then got ripped by Ricky Pitalico like he was Cy Young because he didn't like his pitch selection. Well, like, I don't like your pitching. You blew as a pitcher. Who are you to talk about anything else? That's like Tony Romo saying someone choked in a playoff game. Get the hell.
Hey! Do not talk bad about Tony Romo. He's very good at what he does.
Oh, I love him. I love his commentary. But what I'm saying is it's like for Ricky Bo to come out
Also,
and say,
fuck Tony Romo.
Also, in turn, fuck Tony Romo as well.
like for Ricky Bo to come out and say, that anything about Kyle Gibson's pitching, what he didn't like, dude, you weren't a good pitcher. We didn't like you when you were here. Like you made the All-Star team. You made the All-Star team because we had to send somebody. So it was like, shut up.
Not to mention it's Gibson's first game pitching to JT. There might be a familiarity issue that it will comb itself out. Like the dude pitched well. He had a couple hiccups, but that happens to everybody. Like he managed the game well. He got through 6 and a third, I guess. Like he did his job. He did what we need him to do. He just needs to come in and go 6 innings every game and 3 earned runs or less, like something like that. Right.
And for him, I mean, this is going to be a big difference from where he was. I mean, you're pitching in Texas. That field is huge.
It's a big ass field. Yeah.
Texas is huge. That stadium is so big. Now he's going to be going to Philadelphia, where it's a lot more condensed. It's not, especially to left-handed batters. Like this isn't going to be an easy thing for him to adjust to. His biggest thing was he was able to pitch the contact, even when he was in Minnesota. City feels good too. So he's not used to pitching in a small area. Like I know it's not an excuse because if you're a great pitcher, you should be able to pitch anywhere. But in saying that, that is kind of an excuse.
I mean, if it plays into it, it is. Yeah, like that. Yeah. That's why I was kind of worried about us trading for Richard Rodriguez. Like he's having a good year and stuff, but he plays in fucking Pittsburgh, and that field's huge too. Like we talked about.
Yeah, but Kyle Gibson's also a good ground ball pitcher.
I think the xFIP, it was. Yeah. Well, Gibson's known for ground balls as well, but just like, I mean, for Batalgo to criticize him and say anything other than it was a decent debut and exactly what we need him to do is just ridiculous. It doesn't even matter. Just he had a good game. Like he's not an ace. We did not bring this dude in thinking he's going to put us over the top and contend for fucking Cy Young. Like he's having a career year. He figured something out. Obviously, he's pitching well. Yeah. He had, I think, one really bad start. I think it was his first start of the season. He pitched terrible. I think he let up like 8 runs in like 2 innings. Then July, he didn't pitch that well in July, so he came back down to earth a little bit. But all we traded for him is a quality start. Give me 6 with 3 runs. Yeah. If you could do that all year, that's a fucking win.
Right, and that's the thing. Like he's led the league, or he's been in the top 3 in league in innings pitched, I think, since 2014. Like that's what we need. Like our bullpen stinks.
It's exactly what we need.
And it goes back to Joe Girardi again. I know you don't. I know you are going to disagree with me. Joe Girardi handling the bullpen, like Joe Girardi, in my opinion, cost the Phillies a game Saturday night, and a chance to win the game in extra innings with leaving Jose Alvarado in again. Like why? And I was looking up stats because I saw you and Bill, my buddy Bill, were going back and forth about the chatter that Jose Alvarado's only got 5 more innings pitched than Ian Kennedy. Why don't you bring him in a tie game instead of a 14-run game when they got 19 games in the next 22 days and they have a bullpen game today? Like to me, it didn't make any sense. Like it drives me bananas.
He created a bullpen game today.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be a bullpen game.
No,
you're creating.
And he also.
What's the point of putting?
Yeah, and also.
If you're just going to make it a bullpen game.
And they took him out with 33 pitches. Like
33 pitches, and
he could go another fucking inning.
He wasn't struggling.
Couple innings.
Like I could see if he was like, okay, he wasn't hitting his spots, but he was just. He was sitting at
95. Like he didn't have a velo dip like fucking Howard does. He was throwing 94 to 96 in the first inning, and he continued it through the 3rd inning. The dude knows what he's doing. He only threw 33 pitches. He threw 12 more pitches in the 7-out save a week and a half ago or whenever it was than he did today as a starter, and they take him out. Like why not? And he was, not to mention, he was coming up 2nd in the inning following. Why wouldn't you just leave him in for the 4th inning and then pinch hit for him if you're going to do that? It's just it's just stupid management. And then why pitch Kennedy yesterday up 13 runs when if your plan is to only let Suarez pitch 3 innings today, why not leave Kennedy for today? If he needs to get work, why not let him get fucking work today when you know you're going to rely on bullpen? It just makes too much sense for Girardi to do.
I know that he hadn't thrown since the 27th.
Yeah, I feel like it was like 5 days. Yeah,
dude, he's been. If you look at his numbers and where how many where he's at, he doesn't. And I get it, he's a closer, I guess, at this point. He
in Texas, I guess. Yeah, I mean, didn't have many opportunities.
Dude, they allowed that too. That was fun. It was. Hold on, where's it at? I was just looking at it and I was like, dude, he went from pitching he pitched the 27th, then he didn't pitch since the 19th before that, and then it was the 15th. It was just there was big gaps in between.
Was it like that all season early too, or was it just leading up to the All-Star? I mean, trade deadline where they were like, "Fuck it, this dude can bring something back, so let's try to maintain him. Make sure he doesn't go out and get rocked a couple games."
I mean, I don't know, dude. It was he pitched in June. This was from they do a certain amount of games that they'll show. So from the 5th of May, he pitched 3 days. Then it was 6 days. Then it was 4. Then it was 5. Or no, then it was another 4. Then it was 2. Then he went from the 23rd to the 1st of June. And then June just seemed like it was a clusterfuck for him. He pitched on June 4th, and then didn't pitch till June 16th.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
You know what I mean? So he's had crazy dips in when he throws and when he doesn't.
Yeah.
Then there was another one. He pitched on July 10th. Then didn't pitch till the 19th. Then pitched again the 27th, and then yesterday. So it's it does. I don't know. It's been.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to come in and be a closer for a team that's planning on making a playoff run, you're going to be pitching 4 times a week. Hopefully,
yeah.
You're not getting those. Yeah, exactly. You want to be able to put him in a position to pitch 4 or 5 times a week. You can't have these 4 or 5 day fucking lack of pitching. That doesn't even make sense.
No,
so
it doesn't help the flow of anything either.
No.
Right, and don't get me wrong. I wasn't upset that he gave up a 2-run home run because he wasn't out there throwing his best stuff.
I mean, it is what it is. I just don't understand why they know they're going to use a bullpen playing today. Why not just give them fucking 2 innings if they want?
Because at the end of the day, it goes back to us again alluding that Joe Girardi isn't a good manager. I got into another argument with the guy who I got in the argument with before I went on vacation that Girardi isn't a good manager. I don't know what else.
You should never argue before you go on vacation.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's a debate more than an argument, but
just go on vacation.
He's just not a good manager. He had a Hall of Fame payroll and lineup with that ridiculous payroll. He was all those years in New York. He didn't win anything after he had that team in 2009. So I go back this team right now. This Phillies team right now, to me, is an analytical team. They need that. Just in my opinion, you can shake your head all you want, but and Gabe Kapler would be a perfect again. He's crazy, as crazy as he is. I'm not gonna sit there and talk about his curveball pitching machine, which Bryce Harper laughed at.
Yeah.
But we can. How many players can you name on the Giants? Brandon Crawford,
a lot.
Posey. Like the average baseball fan, not you two. Average baseball fan can name maybe 4 players on that team.
Mm-hmm.
They're 27 games over 500. And I'm gonna segue into this real quick. Why isn't Major League Baseball marketing that team right now? They're legitimately one of the best teams in baseball.
Because they're in a division with the 2 most marketable teams, probably.
But wouldn't that be a good market though to have?
You would think a 3-headed monster, but that would be
push San Fran with you have this.
You have Tatis.
They don't have the superstar. They're analytical. Yeah, and they're the same way why Oakland doesn't get pushed too much.
But
even the Rays, who are always one of the best teams in the league.
You're right.
The Rays don't get pushed that much.
Candidate.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's not Fernando
As
Tatis.
it should be.
He's not Manny Machado. He's not Mookie Betts. He's not, you know what I mean? He's not Corey Seager. He's not them guys. He's not Bellinger. He has appeal, and he's got two. I think he has 2 World Series, or does he have 1? I think he has 2 World Series.
I think he's got 2.
Crawford has 2.
Has 2. Okay, so he has 2 World Series. He's got more World Series than everyone on each team, I believe.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. So honestly, I mean, Manny Machado, his last World Series appearance, he ended the game by striking out. So like, there's guys like that who you look at and you're like, I understand the pushing of certain things, but you're just not going to see. San Fran just doesn't ever get the marketable. It's not going to be pushed market. Like there's no market there. Like with them. There's definitely a market there. There's a market there. There definitely is. But they're not going to be pushed the way that the Dodgers are. They never will. They'll never get pushed the way the Dodgers are.
Yeah.
The Dodgers are the Yankees of the West Coast.
I was gonna say it's like the Rays getting pushed more than the Yankees. It's not going to happen, even though the Rays are one of the best. They're probably a top 3 baseball team in the league right now. Like they just smacked around your Red Sox, and like they just look. They're kind of a juggernaut right now.
Like that's another team. Like they never get the market, and they're fun to watch.
It's very analytical. I feel like that just the really analytical teams and just well-ran organizations that like them, the A's, the Giants right now. I guess like I mean the Giants. They since 2010, like their 11-year span, they got 3 championships, and they just like didn't even have to really rebuild. They did rebuild their whole pitching staff, but they still got some veterans from the runs that they were on, and they're just having a great season again. Like they're obviously a very analytical team, and they do things in a fashion that fits their schemes. And it's just like these teams don't get pushed. And I feel like the Phillies tried to be more of like the Yankees and shit, and just buy and do stupid trades to put Band-Aids on fucking bullet wounds, like we've said all year. They don't look at very analytically at all, which sucks. And like. Just a lineup makeup in itself shows that Girardi don't know what the fuck he's doing. So
no, and listen, I give him a lot of slack. I do. I crush him more probably than most people do. And
wait, Gabe or Girardi?
Girardi. I get it, and I understand that this dude's like there is issues. There's definitely issues within him.
Yeah.
But there's also issues.
It's more organizational. Yeah.
It's organizational, and it is. Yes. But like the big thing with that is it's fine for us to see that. We do. We see that there's organization, but like we also have to give it. And I feel like I've felt this way for the last like couple, maybe like past like 2 weeks. I've realized like we probably should give it a little bit more time before we really are saying like this guy's got to go. I mean, my guy has Travis Jankowski as an everyday starter right now.
Yeah, and a double. Like I think I said that.
And like I get like he has a pass. There's definitely a pass here. There's definitely a pass on this season. And
it's just so easy to hate him just because he's like obviously the easy way out. Like I don't know if it was last episode or the one before. I did say like I kind of feel bad for him because he has these dudes. He has Odubel, Jankowski, Luke Williams, fucking Maton. Like these dudes are starting every day. Torres. He has these 2 or 3 of them starting every game. Yeah, like he has 2 or 3 of them starting every day who barely have major league contracts. Like it is hard. He doesn't manage shit well, but he is being fed with a broken spoon right now.
All right, so I'll give you that about the lineup. If you want to give him a pass, I can maybe look past the lineup, but I'm not looking past how he handles the pitching staff. He's
a terrible bullpen. Yeah, that's why it's tough. Yeah, it's tough because he does make dumb choices all the time. He doesn't know what he's doing with the bullpen, and his lineup, like we said all year, has been constructed wrong. So it is partly his fault, but he does have some bullshit pieces to work with. So it is very organizational.
And I saw who was it that I saw posted? It was one of the Phillies beat writers. They posted that this definitely wasn't just like putting what's his name Ranger Suarez in the rotation was not fully his idea. It was an organizational thing. They decided to do that and put him there. Okay, I get that, but everyday lineup, he should have the last say on what happens, on how that lineup gets filled out. That's always been my issue with him. That's all. That's really, honestly, and I think that we've heard it enough. That's literally been my only concern with him almost all year. The bullpen shit, yeah, there is definitely things in the bullpen. For instance, I feel like and we've talked about this before, the 4-out stretches that he tries to get, he'll get the third out, and then he'll bring them in for fucking 3 more outs,
and he won't have somebody warming up. Like he does dumb shit. Like he does.
It's that shit that is frustrating with him. He definitely does look lost, as Keith Newman commented on the bottom here. He does look lost.
That's Pecan Rises.
I know who it is because he commented on our on the Frozen Rep a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But it's stuff like that like blows my mind with him. But again, you have to give him somewhat of a pass for this year, and probably last year too. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was 60 games. They got rushed into it. It was a team who really barely knew each other, and they just got thrown into into this and said, "Let's figure this out." No one was able to really get stretched out, and guys that he thought he was going to be able to rely on, he really hasn't been able to rely on. Aaron Nola being one of them.
Yep, Didi.
Didi's been brutal. Even when he's been healthy, he's looked hurt.
Like
he's
we
been
went out
awful defensively.
We went out and got Freddie Galvis because he blows. Like he can't feel the ball.
Yeah, and you know what? Freddie's having a good year. He's not having a horrible year, but again, if you look analytically, Didi Gregorius is a negative 10 defensive run save right now. That's awful.
That's not good. That's not good.
For your everyday shortstop, that's terrible. And
So a negative number is bad.
Only in golf is when it's good. In baseball,
that's when I don't fucking see them.
Yeah, I see a lot of plus numbers in golf.
Yeah, right. I do have one eagle in my career.
So like the whole deal, I was one of those people who liked the signing of Didi. Now I just want to bang my head against the wall. Like
I'm gonna send you guys my article later.
Right.
I believe Danny read it a couple years ago. It was last year where I wrote about Didi.
Probably. Yeah. Yep.
And I didn't want him.
All right. Well, who did you write it for?
Not.
I wrote it for Deliver for Philly. It's actually my buddy Joey Garrett. He doesn't. They actually got rid of the whole website and stuff, but it was him and Duffy, the dude with the tattoos and stuff. But me and Danny know both of them, and they made it's kind of like a media company for a little bit. Like they were just doing articles, and they were getting into the podcast world. But then COVID hit. It was a whole thing. I was actually supposed to do. Originally I was supposed to do a baseball podcast with them called Deep Fly. That ended up not going through. But maybe in the future we'll revisit that. They'll revisit that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I used to
what I was going to say is send it over, and I'll give it to my guy Eric. And if you want, he'll put it on the CEV website. That way you can.
He has Joey has his Garrett Group construction shit now. He definitely doesn't have time for that.
It's actually a sponsor for the Frozen podcast.
Yeah.
I'll put it up there for
you.
His
own general contracting company is doing well.
But
good for him too. He's a great person.
Yeah, but I used to write little articles for them, and I did a season review or a season preview for the Phillies. I did 2 of them because the 60-game fucking season, and it was one for the 162, and then there was another one for 60 games. But
all right, well here. If you want, send it over.
Marshall.
And my buddy over at the Nitty Gritty, if you want me to send it to him, he'll send it over to Bleacher Report because he writes for Bleacher Report. I can put you in contact with him. So I was supposed to write for Bleacher Report. I just haven't been. They've been too busy. But yeah, so send that over. But
Report, if you're watching and we know you're watching, start retweeting our shit.
Right.
Start posting our stuff.
So we talked about obviously we started with the trade deadline with getting Freddie Galvis because Didi is just terrible at.
Yeah.
When like you said earlier, like when Danny said, when Alec Bohm is stepping in front of Didi Gregorius. That's Alec Bohm. Like, come on, dude. We've seen you field. But, the Phillies went out. They made some moves. They got Ian Kennedy. They got Kyle Gibson, they got Freddie Galvis, and they got this guy Hans. He just Krester or something, who just looks
Like Cross,
crazy. Yeah,
I'm a
he's
big fan of him. Fucking mustache, neck tattoos, it's right up in fucking alley.
Right, his mustache is epic. He was tweeting a couple of years ago about Nick Foles beating Tom Brady and how good it is. Someone looks like they just hit a home run behind me.
That's not good.
Thanks, De Los Santos.
Well, yeah,
This fucking dude.
Can we trade him for my hat?
But again, this is another thing for Joe Girardi. There's definitely excuses. He's guys with this in his bullpen.
But here's my thing: we just.
But he created this. He created this bullpen game for no reason.
Wait, Ranger Suarez could have went 5 innings. If he struggled in the 4th, then you bring in Hector Neris. It didn't. There was no reason for Hector Neris to bat second in this game, in that inning. There was no reason for it. Like it just drives me nuts. And then De Los Santos, just the dude.
He's got to be one of the worst. He got to be one of the worst pitchers in baseball. Like De Los Santos, is fucking absolutely trash. He's up 6 home runs in 16 innings. That's not fucking good.
No,
so you're not supposed to give up home runs? I thought that was good.
You're supposed to try not to.
Do your best to keep the ball in the ballpark.
Like, can you imagine
if
Vince?
It leaves it, that's bad.
Can you imagine Vince Velasquez pitching the 7th and De Los Santos pitching the 8th? Oh God.
Not going to.
No, that's a foul ball. I don't even want to turn around. It just looked like a foul ball. But like you said, he created this. Why? Like, if you would just play baseball the right way, you know what?
But you know what this also could be? And I mean, I'm creating a narrative here. This could just be him saying "fuck you" to the organization. Like, this is what I have. I'm going to keep putting this out here, and this is what you're going to get. I mean, did anyone know if I've ever even thought of that until just now? That could very well be what this is. Okay, you want this? This is what I'm going to give you, man. I'll give you what.
If you keep bringing up, you keep bringing up De Los Santos for me. He's got to pitch. If you're putting him on the fucking team, he's going to have to pitch eventually. He just hit somebody.
Yeah, he just hit
start fighting. Fuck it.
But this is also the thing. It's like, but then I have issues with him in certain things. Like, all right, well, we have 3 catchers right now on the roster. I heard earlier in the pregame that they said that eventually they're going to have to probably bring up an outfielder. So is that
no shit. Yeah, for what? Just to sit him and not fucking play him?
To sit him. And that's where I have a problem with him, with Joe again. You're not bringing him in to, like, you're bringing him in. He was your hottest player in your organization at one point.
He was on fire before they called him up, and I think he pinch hit one time, and now they just keep sending him down and sending him back up. It's ridiculous. The dude was finally breaking out in AAA. Like, in AAA, he's not in high A, he's not in anything like that. AAA's, there's legit, like, borderline MLB pitchers there, and the dude finally found something and was fucking crushing baseballs. And then let's just bring you up. Let's stop that. Stop being great right now, and you could just come watch a major league game from the fucking bench.
My co-host of CEV Sports hates.
It's spot on though, because that's what when I was just reading with the whole about he does it because it's what sounds cool. That's when I hate when people say that he's analytical. He's not analytical, because I've said this before. His analytical moves would not justify what he does every day in lineup. That's not analytical. The way he's going is not analytical. Taking out a player just because is not analytical. Taking out a pitcher when he's only faced the lineup one time through is not analytical. I get the third time through thing. We've seen that. We saw Blake Snell with the whole debacle last year in the World Series, but he doesn't do that. That's not something that he does. So nothing he honestly does is analytical. He does things that he thinks may be analytical, but they're not.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly. He thinks what analytical. Yeah, that's what he thinks it is. Exactly. That's what I was driving home, and that's what I've been saying.
So Danny was talking about Mickey Moniak, And my co-host Eric on CEV Sports, for some reason, he despises Mickey Moniak. Like he thinks because he was a cheap first round pick, the first overall pick, that's why he was drafted. And I'm
that's probably what he was, though.
right, which may very well be true.
I mean, yeah, that's why he got drafted number 1 overall.
Yeah, it's a posting fee.
But why do you hate Mickey Moniak for that though?
Because he doesn't think he doesn't think he's good. Because
for the organization just being dumb.
40 at bats, and people have already made their mind up, like that this guy isn't a Major League Baseball player. But we're still wheeling out Odubel Herrera.
Exactly. If they plugged him, if they pulled up Moniak from when he was just the hottest hitter in the organization, probably besides Bryce Harper, and just put him right in center field, and then gave him a month, and he was terrible again. All right, it's what. Yeah, you tried something. He wasn't good. Take him the fuck out. But the fact that they're just letting Odubel just not be good at baseball, like he had a home run tonight. Obviously, whenever we want to talk shit on him, he'll hit a fucking home run. But the fact that they just keep letting this dude out, he had like a good 20-something game stretch where Odubel was producing pretty well. Other than that, the beginning of the year was awful, and since then has been god awful. Why wouldn't you just let Moniak go while he's the hottest he's ever been in the minor leagues, and just give him a chance to end the season, see if you got something to fucking build or not build around, but to help move forward and not have to address the center field spot in the offseason. But now you have no idea again. We're just back in square one. Fucking stupid.
It's going to have to get addressed. That is 100% going to have to get addressed in this offseason.
And you have no idea what you have in Moniak.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know. You don't truly know because you haven't given him the opportunity to do so.
No.
Like people, I remember there's another guy who does baseball podcasts on my. Well, I don't even know if he does a podcast. His name is a podcast, but I've looked, searched, haven't seen one. So there is. I think he just calls himself a podcast, but he doesn't do one. So I've seen him talk about Moniak and him say that he's gotten plenty of opportunities and hasn't done anything. And that's always my response back. Like, so you get 40 plate appearances is enough when he's given when every other person that they've allowed to try to take that position has gotten far more. Dude, they refuse it. Like, look at fucking Luke Williams. He just doesn't go back down. He just has stayed there.
Yeah.
They've allowed him to fail, and they've allowed him to rise.
So so did you see this guy on Twitter?
Yeah.
You have to send me his thing because I don't know, this guy who's saying that Mickey Moniak got a shot. Because here's my point.
Dude, you're always talking to in the alley or whatever.
I'm always a big fan of when people sit there and they give their opinion, and I want to call them out on it. Come on the show, tell us why.
I've asked him to come on, and he just ignores me.
I really think
he's too busy doing his actual podcast that he just records on his phone and doesn't put in the public.
Like, I actually think, like, when you call people out on like the social media, I really think they're scared. They're like, oh well, wait a minute, they don't want to hear them because I've called. Listen, I will invite anyone on to get your point across. You can debate with me. You can debate with John. You can debate with Danny. You want to tell me why Mickey Moniak isn't a Major League Baseball player after 40 at bats? Getting pulled after hitting a home run in the San Francisco game and getting pulled for no reason. Come on, give me your points. Tell me why. But can we just before we keep going, can we just talk about Kumar Rocker going back in the draft and not signing with the Mets?
Well, he's got to wait. They say he's got to wait a year.
Yeah, next year,
so
2022.
Next year, but he can't pitch. I don't think
he can go to independent. No, he said no to Vanderbilt. He can go independent or overseas. That's all.
He's not doing anything. He's going to stay. He's going to rehab.
Yeah, he said he's going to. He's going to work out, and I guess.
So what he could have done is just sign with the Mets and then got Tommy John surgery.
I think they were like a little.
What's a year now?
Yeah, they were at $1.5 million off on an agreement or something like that. Like, they were offering him 4.5 instead of the 6 or some shit, and he was like, no.
The reason why they did it because they wanted him to get Tommy John. He said no.
Yeah, no doubt.
But so, like, to me, I don't know. but that's the thing. Is like I am a big proponent of bringing people on because like I argue with a guy in one thing. The Phillies need this, the Phillies need that. They stink. They're gonna get swept by the Nationals. They're gonna get swept by the Mets. Well, come on and tell me your reason and why the Phillies are so bad. You sitting there saying that the starting pitching sucks and that they need a third baseman, that they need a shortstop, and that they need a first baseman. Again, it's a lazy take.
Yeah,
Saying that and not explaining yourself, it's a lazy sports take. And just like how just saying like Ben Simmons sucks, Reese Hoskins sucks. Well, tell me why they suck. Like what makes them suck to you? Don't just putting it out on social media and then getting called out on it and then hiding behind your phone or your computer. It's a coward thing to do, and that's basically all of Philadelphia. In my opinion, like not all of Philadelphia. I'm sorry, like a lot of Philadelphians, like because there are some good baseball fans out there, and there's not like Philadelphia fans, in my opinion, they're very passionate. They love their sports. They love their teams. They stick with them through thick and thin, no matter what. Unfortunately, that doesn't.
I think
translate.
I think they're very passionate.
Doesn't.
I think they're very. I feel like they're very ill-informed because they have these radio.
Right, that's the problem.
They're stations who are driven on people.
That's my thing. It's like they're the complete opposite of what you kind of just said, though. Are they passionate? Yes. Are they knowledgeable? No.
I think
that's what I was saying.
Sort of. Yeah. They're sort of knowledgeable. But their biggest problem is they're not loyal. They're not loyal in the league. They don't ride people through thick and thin. Look what they just did to Carson Wentz. I get it. He's hurt now, but look what they just did. The dude literally rode them. He's the reason why Phillips was in this position he was. And then he was shipped out. Why? Because everyone wanted somebody else. And they called him a baby for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I get the situation now. It's like he's hurt. It is what it is. Like, we're loving that as a city. But, like, to say that we had people's backs,
I never said that. I mean they have the teams back. They don't have they'll turn on a player. They turned on Carter Hart. If the 21-year-old kid, they turned on him. I said they're very passionate. It doesn't make them very knowledgeable.
I think a lot of it has to do with, like I said earlier, even when we were talking about the Twitter shit with Harper, people talking shit. I think if you have some type, or if you want some type of like clout, I guess, on Twitter or something, the easiest thing to do is just be like, oh, Harper stinks. Because then you'll have 100 people, like the everyday fan, they hear Harper's not doing enough from John Kincaid, from these radio stations. So like the people that aren't paying attention as much, because like they have other shit to do. Obviously, baseball's everyday thing. Like it's easier to just have someone tell you what's going on than to watch every game. So the casual fan listens to these dudes all day saying that Harper sucks. Fucking, we have all these issues. Like the players aren't as good producing as much as they should be. So you have a million people listening to WIP, hear this shit all week. Then they're like, oh yeah, that must be true. These are sports people telling us this. It has to be true. Then they get on Twitter and they see a couple of these Twitter handles that want the engagements from those disgruntled fans strictly because of sports radio.
Yep.
They post something like that, and it fucking as a sports city from these media outlets. So it's just fucking. It is ridiculous.
And
it's like
it goes back to is that people are listening to sports talk radio and are not listening to John, Danny, and Chris. And when they are listening to us on Twitter, they end up blocking us because they hate being wrong. I feel like these sometimes, when we talk about the Phillies, it's like almost like people think that we're rooting against them. That's not the case. Like, I'm never going to root against the Phillies. Like, I'm not going to root for the Phillies to lose. I'm not going to root for the Sixers to lose for a draft pick or the Eagles or the Flyers. That's not what we're doing, but we're going to call it out and we're going to be real about it. We're not going to be like this, well, Bryce Harper isn't doing enough. Well, his numbers say he is. Yeah. His WRC says he's doing enough. His WAR says he's doing enough.
Yeah.
Is his fielding okay, but he's doing.
But he's never been a good fielder. Like he's never been that guy. He was a catcher. He was a catcher and a fucking pitcher his whole life in high school.
But again,
and also like, yeah, let's bring him play in the
yeah, go. You got a rifle. All right, go.
Right. And again, it goes back to Ryan Howard's
Play
situation.
right
No one
field.
cared.
And it's
No one
just fuck
cared.
everyone's a player.
No one cared for 5 years that Ryan Howard couldn't field a ball, and he would hit the runner at second in the back of the head because he was hitting 450-foot home runs.
He was so good at throwing and hitting the fucking double play guy at second base. That shit was pinpoint.
But again, I look at it like, all right, so he makes a play in the field, but he's going to make it up in his at bat. He's going to get on 3 times a game, which he's been doing consistently his last 20 games. Like I said, he's got 18 walks in his last 16 games. That's ridiculous. His on base percentage is going up 34 points. I think Danny said earlier. 34 points. What else do you want?
It went from 380 to 414 going into today. But like
they want 34 more RBIs. That's what they want.
Yeah, and our disdain is more. It's not towards the players. Like I don't hate Didi because he's not that good. It's organizational problems that we like see from where we're at. Like you have players like Marcus Semien and shit that have been better than Didi the last couple of years that they could have brought in, and they decide to bring Didi back and shit like that. It's not Didi's fault. It's the organization that scouts talent. They're just not doing a great job. Like luckily, for some reason, the last few weeks, like Moniak was on fire, Jalen Ortiz is on fire. For some reason, our minor leagues are starting to heat up. I don't know why. I don't know if there's been changes developmental wise, but like players are starting to turn it on, which bodes well for the future.
I know Dombrowski, when he got hired, he did bring in a new regime. Kind of, there was some new players within, but there was new player development people that he did hire. I didn't know that.
There's been a few players that have like Jalen Ortiz. I don't know if a lot of people know. Like he was he was a huge international signing. I think they paid $3 million for him in this. I think it was the same year that like Soto and Acuna were signed too. That we got Ortiz. Everything was all about his raw power. Like if this dude's figured it out, like he could hit 40 home runs on a continuous basis in the MLB. Right. Struggled. But granted, he was like 17 at the time. He's 23 now, I believe, and he's just
coming together.
He's on fire.
He homered the other day.
They just moved him up to Double-A finally for home. He went 3 for 4.
And
our developmental seems to be doing well now. Thank God. It's taken a while, but hopefully that's a trend that continues.
As Keith said, they settled on Didi, and I honestly think I didn't think the Phillies organization had a lot of faith in Bryson Stott. Because when you look at I know he's young, but when you look at that,
that's what I'm saying. I get that's why they did. They probably felt that he needed 1 or 2 more years.
And they didn't think his developmental would be where it's at.
Would be this rapid.
Yeah. And they were more, like you said, they did settle on Didi. They're more comfortable with Didi's been here. He was here, obviously, and they didn't want to go make that change and bring in Semien, who's been a fucking stud this year, who's been good for a few years for now. Like, he would have been a huge upgrade from Didi. Defensively, like people said Didi was for Segura, but which is obviously not true. Like, Semien actually would have been a much better player and would have helped us out a lot more than Didi is, obviously, this year.
Right. And, so if you think, if you really want to be, if you want to be positive, I mean, Stott's got a lot of potential. I'm glad they didn't trade him. Nick Abel, he's got the potential, you know, and Mickey Moniak, like those three, you have to be excited for those 3 players. There's more players to be excited for, but for those 3 players in the next 3 seasons, and with the veterans of JT and if Rhys Hoskins is still here and Bryce Harper, you have to be excited for them. Almost to the point of how, when Chase Utley came up and they had Rollins who was here for a couple of years and you had Pat Burrell who was here and then Ryan Howard. And then Ryan Howard turned out to somewhat be the missing piece. That he was that guy.
The missing big piece.
The missing big piece. There you go. Who provided you that clout. So you have to be excited. But, again, it goes back to people who don't follow the minor leagues who'll just say Mickey Moniak sucks because someone on Twitter said he had a bad week, or Bryson Stott sucks because he had a 2-error game, or Mick Abel gave up 6 runs in 2 innings. And, you'll have somebody saying, I can't believe we didn't trade Mick Abel for Chris Bryant. Because, that at the end of the day, that's what it's going to come down to, is the Phillies didn't trade Mick Abel, Bryson Stott, or Mickey Moniak to get a Javier Baez, to get a who wants a $200 million contract. Keep looking, buddy. I was saying when you showed that post, I almost spit my drink out. I'm looking for it too.
I hope he finds it.
But we're gonna find that shit in the NBA. Contracts they're handing out today.
Well, that's the type of shit too. Like a Baez, like people won't bash Baez because he'll hit 40 home runs and have 100 RBIs, but they'll crush Harper.
Yeah.
Double?
Bryce Harper, another double.
Oh, there's a guy on base too. He had a double.
And there's a guy on base. Segura must have got a bad jump.
He just can't run.
I was left field line. Yeah.
But
how many outs?
No, 1 out.
Don't say two. Okay.
Oh, nice opposite field double.
Just a fucking beautiful piece of hitting. What a player.
Have you noticed he's been hitting the ball to the opposite field the last
couple
games too?
Yes.
Yep. So, and that's what it's going to come down to, is that they didn't trade those 3 prospects for a Chris Bryant, a Javier Baez. But why would you trade those 3 or any one of those for Baez, who's a free agent, who wants $200 million, or for Chris Bryant, who's going to be a free agent? And Javier and everyone's in love with Javier Baez because he made a Pittsburgh Pirate look like a dope. So that's
what people really know, and the best is when people say that he's like this ridiculously great defensive shortstop. Nothing wrong. He's very good. He's a good defensive shortstop. But the biggest thing with him is they love that he points. He used to point at Wilson Contreras and not even look and just tag the guy up. Nothing wrong. That's cool.
Which is
very
cool.
Flashy.
Shit. Yes.
He's a flashy ass player, and it's you need that. And look what he did to Amir Garrett the other day when he was screaming at him.
Oh
awesome.
my God! That was awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
But again, it goes back to that's how baseball's been since Jose Bautista threw his bat 300 feet in the air along with the 450-foot home run.
Yeah.
Right, like that. That's how baseball is. And there's some people, these baseball purists, who don't like that. Well, again, I go back to
them, didn't they? That's why he was using the bat and he was going like this.
Yes.
He was saying we just swept his, and he was using his bat like it was a fucking broom.
But my point is,
a great call.
Right, Javier Baez. I mean, he's a good player.
You know what? Give him $200 million. I'll take him.
but like you said, like he's flashy. Like when in the World Baseball Classic, when he would tag out the runner who was stealing Yadier Molina, he would tag you point. Like people don't like that. For me, I'm fine with it. I love it. Like this is what you want to bring. That's how you market. How I brought up earlier about marketing the game. Market it that way. That's why Javier Baez is marketed, because of the way he is. There isn't anybody in the Giants like that you can think of. Javier Baez, Manny Machado. Like they're all guys who do crazy shit during the game that you just cheer for or you boo against. There isn't anybody in the Giants that you're going to boo, because you can't name anybody other than Buster Posey and Brandon Crawford. Who's
really marketable on that Giants team now?
Gabe Kapler.
Chris Bryant.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. Now he is. But
maybe he'll get a BMW commercial like fucking Ozzy Albies and Luke Voigt.
Tell me I need to know how that works. How did Ozzy Albies get a fucking?
I have no idea.
An Audi commercial, or it was an Audi commercial? Is that what it is?
No, I think it was BMW.
BMW.
Whatever the fuck it was. How do they get in car commercials? Like it just, I don't know. It's like how are they getting car commercials, but guys like
Luke Voigt, like why is he in a commercial?
Those are two most random. Like, don't know, both good players, but very random.
Yeah.
All right. They're at Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense. Thank you, Keith, for the clear up there. But yeah, dude, it's very strange. But like on the topic of the trades and the trade deadline and what they should have done, what they did do, all that stuff. I actually really liked the way the trade deadline went. I like the way that they approached it. I like that because I feel like it showed me two things. It showed me one, Dave Dombrowski knows that there's issues, and he addressed those issues. He addressed the defensive shortstop issue, which has been a glaring issue.
Yeah.
He approached
wild pitch. Gene Segura just scored.
Nice. He approached starting pitching, and he approached the bullpen.
Yes, he
I
tried.
find that.
He tried to get and he tried to get Anderson for 2 mid-level prospects, which would look great. And you wouldn't have to worry about a fucking like. Not that he's a great pitcher. Like he's solid. If him and Gibson could just do the same shit, it'd be fantastic. Yeah, like that trade obviously got blundered, but like he didn't give up. He didn't go crazy and trade Abel and stop. Like he didn't go nuts, which we were kind of scared of that he would try. I think he understands. Like we can probably sneak into the playoffs, build something. Maybe in the offseason, go for them couple extra pieces that would put us over the top. But he didn't like overbuy, be like, fuck it, we need to win the championship this year. I feel like he was realistic. He was safe. He did fill some holes to give us a chance to make a run, at least to make the playoffs. And that's all you can really ask for this team right now. So
do you think? Because there were a lot of trades made. Like my phone was going off in Disney.
It was. Like, they said it was like the most deals made on the trade deadline day or something like that. There was a lot of. It was one of the highest volume days in Major League Baseball history on the trade deadline.
So, do you think that all those trades were made because there was nothing really happening last season, and they were just like? I almost feel like they were just holding it in. They're like, "Oh, let's get this done." Well, I mean, they were good. Like, I can't believe whatchamacallit got Turner and Max Scherzer. Somebody just scored. He's out.
He out or safe?
He's out.
Harper. It's Harper.
Must have been a tag up.
It was. Oh no.
But there looks like they're going to check him because they're saying they might have got the mitt. Maybe they're not. So, but Scherzer and Trey Turner, like that's god damn, like But they get
But a lot of that is fine. I feel like a lot of the free agent class a couple years ago, and it ended up spilling out. And plus, you have guys who were going on arbitration. There's guys who, they're just going to their natural free agency, and that's a big reason why that happened. You saw like all three of the big players for the Cubs.
Yeah, I was going to say
had expiring contracts.
Yeah, a lot of the fact that this trade deadline was so prevalent, so outrageous, was because the Cubs and the Nationals both said, "Fuck it, it's time." Like unload these players because the majority was just them two teams, and then they're all free agents. The Cubs could realistically get them back, like all three of them, which is crazy to think about. And I feel like there was just happened to be two. Yeah, there happened to be just two teams with very good players on expiring contracts that said, "Fuck it, go." Like we're gonna let them go and see what happens. So just them two teams alone, made this trade deadline crazy. But,
they did. The Nationals and the Cubs did what the Phillies should have did.
In 2012,
is trade them when they could have, but they held on to them. They got they were just reminiscing with that, and it just it bit us in the ass. And the Cubs and the Nationals, they won their World Series, and they were like, "All right, well, we'll just rebuild up again." This dude breaking up. There we go.
We went to an all-boys high school too. That's not a good look.
We just go north.
Yeah,
we are closed.
Where'd you go?
Oh, I went to an all-boys. I went to
Ryan.
Roman. I went to Roman.
Okay.
No, I always crack jokes about North. I mean, my best friend's from North, so
we should have been able to keep that school open. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But yeah, my whole thing with the whole. You hear that?
No. It's exactly the same.
You sound like you're looking for Nemo still.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Is this close enough?
Oh,
don't do that.
This isn't this type of podcast.
Yeah, I was smiling when you did that. I don't want that to be screen grabbed.
You pay extra for that.
But yeah, that's an OnlyFans situation.
Catch us on Patreon.com.
Yeah.
$10 a month.
Don't even know what that is, but
I think it's a podcast thing,
Got
like a
green check.
paid for podcast. Fuck.
But
yeah, like
I don't know.
yeah, you're talking about the trades. Like yeah, I think we're on the same page with that.
I liked the moves because it also showed me that, like, again, he knows what the glaring issue today is, but he also knows that he can't give up. The Phillies farm system is so top heavy. There's so much.
Yeah.
Most of their biggest guys are the first 5. After that, there's no
and then
real
it's just
middle ground.
Then it's just whatever.
Thank you, Keith.
What
I appreciate it. But yeah, that's how it is. But like that, it is. It's extremely top heavy the way that it's constructed. So, I mean, you don't want to give up on McGable. He's far too young and he's far too talented, honestly, to give him up now.
Absolutely.
And especially for fucking
Kimbrel.
Like that was a stupid fucking report that even thought that was gonna, like, I get it. Jed Hoyer is a great general manager. Jed Hoyer was one of the assistant general managers for what's his name, COFC, when he was in Boston. So I've known about Jed Hoyer for years, and I know that he is one of the best executives in the game. And he also went to San Diego. He actually traded and got Rizzo in San Diego, and then went to the Cubs and got Rizzo from San Diego. So he's pretty much been with Rizzo, and he's dealt every time Rizzo's been dealt. Jed Hoyer's been a part of it, and he's been on 4 teams now. So
yeah, like I get it. Like the fans want something exciting, but it's just not. It's not really logical for them to have made that moves unless it was like, I don't know. Unless it was like
this team isn't destined for a World Series right now.
Yeah, so these moves were safe. They were
to sell the farm for 2 months rentals.
Yeah,
is done.
Exactly. The only way I would have been okay with like one of those top prospects going somewhere for like a Bryant is if it was Bryant comes and signs for 8 years. Like that's the only way I would have been okay with it. Like if it was like we have an agreement that Bryant you're going to sign and trade type thing. But I mean the fan in me, like the Phillies diehard fan in me was like, yeah, please go do something bigger. But at the same time, I didn't want to get rid of any of those top like 4 or 5 guys. So like, I mean, I'm okay with it. Like you said, they filled a couple glaring needs. I think they put themselves in better position to acquire somebody in the off season or a couple pieces in the off season, and then go for it next year. Like be a lot more well built next year. So,
and plus,
I like it.
And plus, you have the certain guys that we like in Chris Bryant. They're free agent. He's a free agent.
They're all free agents.
So now instead of giving up, a Bryson Stott for him, you can just get him in free agency.
Like get Bryce to talk to him.
Yeah, Bryce apparently wants him.
Or Bryson.
That we talked about, and that's fine. And I like that.
Exactly.
They played, right? They played in high school. They're both from Vegas, right?
Yes, they are. They didn't play together in high school.
Yeah, them two.
But they are both from Vegas. And
well, I didn't mean they were both in high. I know they were. I'm pretty sure they were both from Vegas.
They played. I think they played against each other a lot when they were young.
Right.
There's like a picture, I think, of them two from when they were younger.
But like you said, like Dombrowski, he made good moves. You can't question it. He got money from the Rangers. Like that's, I love it. Like helps at the
and
players,
like
but
not that obviously I have no idea what the behind the scenes shit is, but who knows if Harper and Dombrowski talk? I'm like, listen, I've been talking to Brian. He's one of my boys. We have a good chance to sign him in the offseason. Maybe don't sell our big farm, like our couple like valuable. Like there's only a couple that are valuable farm prospects. We can sign them in a couple months. Like, are we a Chris Bryant away from a World Series? Obviously, it helps get us there, but probably not with this team right now. So, I mean, there might be some behind the scenes shit like tampering going on that we don't know about. Like they're friends, and obviously, you would think Harper does have some type of say in the moves that they make.
Wow.
And like, who knows? So I'm excited for the offseason, obviously. We made a couple moves to potentially get us in the postseason this year. Like the division's in shambles, like our division. So the Mets, they got Baez, but like they like I feel like their whole organization right now is like in a fucking they're imploding. Like it's just they're so weird.
Didn't they trade 2 like top 12 prospects for him too?
Yep.
Number 9 and 12, yeah.
Yep.
Like that's like that's a lot for an expiring contract.
Wait,
I'm sorry, I think it is.
Wait, no, I think the Mets traded their number 5 prospect, which is still a lot.
And I think they're number 12, right?
No, I think that was White Sox.
Or was that for another deal?
That was for Kimbrel. They gave up number 9 and 12, I think. I think the White Sox gave up 9 and 12.
Okay.
I believe. The Mets just gave up number 5. He has like a weird name. I forget his name.
But
look it up.
I think we had a pretty decent show tonight.
Absolutely. Did I need to find this out for the show to put this episode out?
Yeah, Boom just. Yeah. Alvarado has 16 pitches already.
Yeah, the Cubs got Pete Crow Armstrong, which is probably the worst name I've ever heard in baseball.
He's very good though.
Yeah.
I think he was in last year's draft.
Yeah, he was. He was there. No, he was 2020 draft.
Yeah,
he's like a good on base. Yeah, his name sucks, and I think that's all they got for him. And the Cubs paid because they got Trevor Williams too.
I really need to have a fair one with Keith at this point. He's driving me nuts. He just keeps telling me where I'm live inside of.
But
it's getting absurd.
But yeah, I think the Cubs also I think sent enough money over in the deal to pay that the Mets are only paying minimum league minimum for Baez and for Trevor Williams. I'm pretty sure the 9 and 12 prospects were for Kimbrel. I'll look that up too.
Okay.
But Pete Crow Armstrong was there. He was the Mets number 5.
And that's who they got, and that's who the Cubs got, right? For Baez? You said?
Yeah. For a rental.
Weird.
For a rental that Baez could go, Baez could easily sign back with them.
And apparently he wants to stay with the Mets because of Francisco Lindor, and he wants to hear. I've heard one from.
I know the White Sox got Madrigal. I mean they got Madrigal for.
Yeah.
So who the fuck was the 9 and 12 for?
I think it was 5 and 12. I don't think it was 9 and 12. I think it was the 5. I think it was.
I'm pretty sure. I don't think so. I think.
We're spending too much time.
I think Here we are.
We'll talk about this on.
I want to find this shit out though, dude. It's getting on my nerves. Yeah, true.
All right,
hopefully,
so we'll get off.
Hopefully by then I get my microphone fixed so that Keith doesn't absolutely find me.
All right, so we're gonna end it with that. You have your frozen rope on Thursday at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. All right,
we'll be talking about all the trades that just went on.
It was the Yankees 9 and 12 for Rizzo.
That's
so
fucking,
yeah.
that's a fleet thing.
Jed knows what he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah, just for fucking Rizzo to go to free agency.
Right.
Yep.
So you got your frozen rope on 8. You and Danny, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll be on Thursday talking hockey with the 10 Days on Patterson. I'll be on tomorrow night on CEV and the Philly Sports Alliance.
Wonderful.
What else we got going on? And then hopefully we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully by Thursday, John has a microphone that works and he doesn't sound like he's looking for an email or sounding like something inside the devil's anus with better sound.
Before a little sidebar, before we even got onto here, I told these two shitbags how self-conscious I was about this situation. And then Keith, not knowing anything, just decided to blast the entire episode.
Just blast it. You know what's funny is? Is if I actually would have texted Keith what you said, he would have
he would have crushed him even more. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Would have fucking come in guns a blazing.
Oh, he would have came in. Oh yeah, he would have been like Jesse. He would have just came in like you said, guns a blazing, like it's on the streets of Philadelphia.
I can't have this happen again.
So vulnerable.
Right. So
I'm so vulnerable right now. I don't know what to do with my hands.
You're in a glass case of emotion.
I don't do my hands anymore. Here.
Almost beat his
All right.
wife before the show.
Shit was going down.
So-
About meal planning for the week.
Oh yeah,
So-
you're cranky. Fucking yeah, you're inside a trash can. You're cranky.
I'm like-
You're
I'm like,
hangry.
I don't know.
I just want pizza.
Why he's wearing his Adubel Herrera jersey.
Yeah,
And my,
don't make me get this jersey.
And my Brett Myers wife beater.
There you go. Why you're wearing a
Don't make
Trevor
me,
Bauer
don't
hat.
make me dust it off. Yeah.
While I'm wearing the Bauer Adage hat.
Jesus Christ. So catch these.
Hold on, I gotta change my shirt real quick.
All right.
This one a little too far. All right, we're out. We gotta go.
Thursday, 8:00, the Frozen Rope.
Thursday, 8
I'll,
o'clock.
I'll share it to Lions and CEV, and I'll send it to Keith via YouTube. I'll be on Thursday with Tendies on Patterson with John and Paul, and CEV tomorrow night. Guys, hopefully the Phillies will have a
Tell Bleacher
over
Report to
500
start
record.
sending our shit out.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, stay on after I end this.